Hello. Well, that was just complete madness. Um, that was really good. I'm waiting for Giordano's because when I got back here for the break, um, I didn't have enough time to order anything, so I ate cheese and crackers, and I'm absolutely starving. So anyway, I'm going back in this cab, and the guy's like, "Well, if you want Giordano's, you're gonna have to order it now." And he says, I order from them all the time. I said, well, let me use your phone. I gave the order to these people 6 times. So we're all wondering here at the lobby downstairs, how many pizzas are going to arrive? How many salads are going to arrive? I know you don't want to hear this. Um, wow. Seeing Brian Wilson perform was great. I mean, yeah, I know that Al Jardine and his son did a lot of it, and a lot of the great musicians in the background helped him sing. But, he's very feeble, and I wonder how long he's going to be with us. It was wonderful meeting him. We were told he didn't feel well. Um, and so they didn't really want us to take hardly any amount of time. Um, it's really funny, and I know that a lot of you know me really well. I've met John Lennon. I got Paul McCartney's autograph. I've met the Bee Gees. I mean, I've met a lot of famous people, but I was in awe of Brian Wilson. Usually I'm the type of person who'll just go into your arms or hug you, or I couldn't even shake his hand. I mean, I was in awe. I mean, I was like, thank you very much. I introduced myself and said I'd seen them many times, but never this close. And, they were very nice and thanked me. And the music was just great. They did a lot of the early danceable songs, the car songs, that type of stuff. They had, well, actually, it was 2 sections. They did a lot of Beach Boy hits um, that weren't from Pet Sounds. And then they came back after a break and they did Pet Sounds. And then they just did this encore that was just incredible of Beach Boys songs, songs that anybody alive would know, like Help Me Rhonda and Barbara Ann. It's so funny because when they were doing Barbara Ann, I kept thinking of the Who version, and I don't know why. I just felt like Keith Moon was dancing around, and Pete Townsend was harmonizing. I don't know why. It just kept running through my brain. And of course, they had this guy, real young guy that was in charge of us in the pit, those of us who had the first 5 rows in the pit, to guard us. And, like no cameras, only cell phones. Oh God. I actually took my flip phone out and I took pictures and I videotaped it. I've never done that before, ever. I have no idea how to get it off of the phone, but I'll find out. Um, but at the end, I mean, this goober, I mean, was in charge of us. He's like, he finally just walked away. He was sick of us. So I started pulling the cameras out. I started videotaping. I started taking pictures. That guy could have cared less. He had no idea that there was genius on stage. The master was on stage, and this goober could have cared less. But I was glad because I thought he's not going to bust me. He's not going to give a shit, you know. And but it was great. A lot of the songs I only know the hits from Pet Sounds. I'll readily admit that. I don't have a problem with that. Um, it really was great. I don't really buy merchandise. I mean, there I bought this thing. It was so silly, but I just wanted something, you know. from the show, and one of the musicians was sweet enough to give me the encore list. That was sweet. Steve Latshaw, I mentioned your name many times. I'm not really sure. I asked the right people. I even asked Brian. I asked Al, and a few musicians. The saxophone player. I'm looking for something, by the way. And this was the card that they had in the Rosemont. I'm pretty sure I saw Elvis Costello there in 90 something. I'm pretty sure. It looked familiar. Because it was really close to Beetlefest, and I think Beetlefest is still in Rosemont. Is it not? I don't know. Okay, so I had to buy something, but I'm really cheap about stuff. You know, I'll spend a lot of money for a meet and greet, but all I bought was this beautiful Pet Sounds change purse. Nobody uses this. It'll just stay in the plastic, and I don't know, some jerk will get it when I'm dead. You know, probably nobody that deserves it. But anyway, so it was mesmerizing, you know, when something's that good. You just kind of sit there with your mouth open. And true, Brian doesn't have the vocals he had. And you don't have the wonderful Carl. You don't have the wonderful Dennis. And those thoughts ran through my mind because I have seen the Beach Boys off and on in my life since '78. And I was talking to one of the many great fans. Beach Boys have great fans. We all kind of talked together and you know, spent time together. And he said, this guy beside me, he said, I have seen the Beach Boys more than any group that I've ever seen. And I said, you know what? I have too. I think I have seen them at least a dozen times that I can think of. But I had been away from them for a long time. Excuse me. They were playing in Paducah, but that was Mike Love's gig. It's like Mike Love and Brian Wilson. Well, I mean, obviously, you're going to see Brian Wilson. Though I would like to meet the Carousel Boy one of these days, the drummer. John. It's John, isn't it? So, anyway, lots of thoughts go through your mind when you're watching something like this. And it felt very soulful, you know. And I thought, wow, I haven't really seen them for a long time. The last time I saw them, I went with a friend, and they had these go-go dancers. And I felt they had kind of lost some dignity. And I actually walked out on one of their shows because of those go-go dancers. I thought, they don't need this. They don't need this. And I don't know, I walked away for many years, but it was really nice to come home to the Beach Boys and to Brian Wilson, who I think I've only seen Brian perform with can't speak, with the Beach Boys very few times, and I think it was all in DuQuoin and at the SIU Arena. It's funny because I had something I wanted to say to them, and security was really nice. I mean, they were like, you know, you can talk to him, and they just don't want you hugging him or kissing him. Or I couldn't even put my hand on his shoulder. I mean, it's so funny because I was telling these people, I said, I've met major stars, and I just kind of fell apart in front of him. I mean, not crying or hysterical or anything. It was just, I was very quiet and I was very polite. And I wanted to put my hand on Al and Brian's shoulder. And I just, I just could not. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm thinking, I'm going to see everybody on the other side. So I don't know. Going through a lot of head trips lately. So I will say this concert kept my mind off of very sad things that I've been through, as some of you know. Um, Great. It was a great show from beginning to end. Brian had to take some breaks. Um, I kind of watched him a lot, and I said, keep your eye on this guy because I don't know if he's going to be with us for for not much longer. Um, but you never know. Um, Great cab drivers. They give you such great tips. And I give good tips, so that is something I learned from my brother. Tip well, you will get reimbursed. And he is correct about that. Um, so I'm waiting for pizza. It'll probably be really late when I get here, and I'm thinking there's probably going to be 6 pizzas and 6 salads, and maybe we'll just go down to the lobby and we'll just all have it. I'm only paying for one, but um, I usually party with the late night lobby pe- late night lobby people. That's something I do. Um, I'm gonna hang around tomorrow and see Tom and Missy, and we're just gonna mess around. And we're going to do some karaoke, and I am definitely in the mood to sing. I think if anything, it woke up my singing alarm. It's like, wake up and sing for God's sakes. You know, um, all I can tell you was it was great. I really don't know how to express it because it was beautiful and it was soulful and God, the talent there, the talent. The keyboardist, I can never remember his name, but he was also the keyboardist when the Zombies were doing Odyssey and Oracle. And I have really wanted to meet him for the longest time, and I hung around, and that man's brilliant. He is so talented. No matter, I mean, it's no doubt that everybody's running to get this guy. You know who I'm talking about. Those of you who are in the music business, you know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name, um, but God, brilliant guy. There were at least 12 musicians, including Brian on stage, and they were great. Um, I wasn't so taken with Blondie. Um, I think they could have got someone else, but that's either here nor there. A lot of people in the pit area, the pit gang as we're called, felt the same way, but that's okay. Um, so that's it. Tom and Missy and I are having a play date, and I get to perform in the suburbs. I'm happy about that. And and then we'll be coming home Sunday. I've got it all arranged, and I'm ready to eat. I'm starving. So love and mercy to you tonight. So talk to you later. Bye bye.